Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to talk to you about Fortnite Battle Royale's newest update. This is actually a pretty big update that added and changed a lot of things, so I'm going to get into what I think are the most important first, and then we'll get into some of the smaller details towards the end of the video. The first change in this patch is that the scoped revolver has been added to the game. Available in epic and legendary variants, it fires medium ammo at 42 damage or 44 damage depending on the rarity. That makes it an 84 damage headshot or an 88 damage headshot. This weapon can be found from floor loot, chests, supply drops, and vending machines. So it sounds like it could be good. My thing is with the scoped weapons, the scoped sensitivity that feels good for my snipers feels really bad for these, like the scoped AR or the thermal. So I don't expect this to be something that I use much, but this will probably be a weapon that some people like. Glider redeploy was re-added to the game as an item. So you pick this item up and carry it similar to how you would balloons. And then once you use a redeploy, that removes one of the charges and you have 10 charge per stack. So you can redeploy 10 times if you find it, but you have to carry it and it does consume an inventory slot. This is an interesting item. I don't think it'll be that annoying. We already had redeploy in the past and I didn't mind it too much personally, and that was when everybody had it all the time. So if somebody wants to spend an inventory slot on it, it doesn't really concern me too much. It's useful for the people who want to use it, but it also is a mobility item that doesn't just allow the user to retake high ground for free. This is going to be used more like for positioning or more like defensively to get yourself out of a bad situation rather than just completely turning the tides of a fight like balloons or a grappler can, or the jetpack did. The minigun has been completely reworked to have an overheat mechanic. Overheating occurs after approximately 6 seconds of continuous fire, but because of this, the wind-up time has been reduced by 37%. So you're going to be able to shoot it a third faster, but after 6 seconds of continuously firing, you're going to overheat. I think this is great because it adds some ability to counterplay the minigun, whereas before you were just hoping they ran out of ammo or trying to build and then hopefully get some shots in with like a shotgun or a sniper or something that could like insta-kill them. A deagle maybe. That's how I kind of approached miniguns in the past in RPG. You wanted to build and then try to get something that did like a lot of damage in one shot on them, whereas now it'll overheat. It doesn't say how long it overheats for, but this will be interesting to see, and I think this is something that a lot of people have wanted for a while. The next biggest change in this update is that the following weapons that are projectile now have the same projectile trajectory as the heavy sniper, the bolt, the suppressed, the semi-auto sniper, and the hunting rifle. This basically means that all of these weapons are going to have the low drop that the heavy sniper has, making them all easier to use. I really disagree with this. I think it would have been better if they made the heavy sniper have the trajectory of those weapons. So the snipers are harder to use because the heavy sniper is actually really easy. So it's not, now sniping as a whole is just going to be easier across the board, and I don't think that's very good. The next biggest change in this update, in my opinion, is that editing sensitivity will now match your building sensitivity. So before in the past, you had building sensitivity and normal sensitivity, and editing went off your normal sensitivity. Now that building sensitivity multiplier will be applied to your editing as well. So you'll be able to edit faster. This just allows people more freedom to customize their sensitivity and not be forced to play on a higher sense just to be able to do like the editing. Kind of like how we have with building in the past. This is a good feature. Should have been included when they did the building sense update, but it's nice that this was eventually added. We had some rarity adjustments in this update. So balloons were changed from epic to rare. Stink bombs were changed from epic to rare. And the scoped AR was decreased from rare and epic to uncommon and rare. So I don't know if these makes these weapons spawn more prevalently. I guess they will. In the past, when they've changed the rarity of some items, they've said it doesn't affect drop rate, but it doesn't say that here. So I'm assuming the drop rate is going to be unchanged. Or is going to be changed rather. So balloons, stink bombs, and scoped AR should be spawning more often in game. Next, the mini shields, instead of stacking to 10, stack to 6 now. This is an interesting change. So if you find 2 minis, they spawn in stacks of 3. So if you find 2 drops, you'll now be at max minis. I think this is a good change. I really like the mini shields, but 10 is like such an absurd amount to carry, especially for solos. It's kind of different in the team modes, but in solos, being able to carry 10 minis just made it to where you could heal like pretty much indefinitely, and it made it to where I never really wanted to carry any of the other healing items. Now that the amount of minis that you can carry has been reduced, I'll have to reconsider what healing items I'm carrying, and maybe I'll start taking 3 bigs over 6 minis. I don't know. I think I'll still take 6 minis just because they are more common anyways, but we'll have to see how this changes in game. Next, the traps have had their spawn rates adjusted, so the spike trap, the cozy campfire, and the launch pad will spawn more frequently, while the mounted turret will spawn less frequently essentially. The numbers are all in the patch notes, which will be linked down in the description, but I'm not going to go into those. That's basically what happened. Now, next, zip lines have been reworked. So when you hit a zip line, you don't just immediately start out at max speed. You have to slowly accelerate to that speed. And now you can also hit a button to change direction without having to jump and spin in midair. I think this is good for the zipline, but they need to make it to where you have to jump and interact with the zipline to actually use it rather than just going near it and getting abducted, or jumping near it and getting abducted and sent somewhere else. I don't like that at all. So, and I thought that was like the first thing I noticed with the zipline, and they still haven't fixed that. So it's pretty annoying. And the final change I want to talk about in this update is the changes they've made to walls. In the past, if you had some uneven terrain, you would sometimes place walls that were really short, and then you would have to place 2 walls to get basically the height of a normal wall, or slightly higher than a normal wall. Now, if you get into situations where you're placing those little walls, it'll just automatically build a wall on top of that for free and not consume material. So it kind of eliminates some of the awkwardness of fighting in uneven terrains. And I think this is a really, really good change. This is something that I've wanted to be changed for a while. Didn't know really how they could fix it, but I'm happy they have fixed it in some way. I just assumed they never would since it had been a problem for so long, but it's nice to see that they addressed that. And that's basically what I want to talk about in this update. There are some other minor changes and some minor bug fixes that you can read in the patch notes, but these are the main things I wanted to go over. We had the scoped revolver, which seems like an interesting gun, but not something I'm probably going to use too much. We had the editing sense, which is huge. We had the redeploy. We had the sniper rework. Really, the only thing I don't like about this update is the sniper rework, but everything else I really, really, really do like. Let me know what you think about this update in the comments below. Are you excited to use the new revolver? Are you excited for the new redeploy? What do you think of the mini shield changes? Let me know. And if you did find this video interesting or helpful in any way, please do remember to drop a like and sub if you would like to see more. I do live stream Fortnite every single day, and I have been trying to post videos more frequently. So thanks for watching.
All right, one guy. We got him on white. There we go. GG's. Let's get some GG's in the chat. And if you guys have not already, please do remember to drop a like on the stream and subscribe if you would like to see more. I live stream Fortnite Battle Royale every single day, mostly just solos.